Service-based companies doing over 50K a month. I'll guarantee you 5 keywords on the first page of Google in 120 days, or you do not pay. All right, so why should you trust me after such a bold statement? Well, let me show you results. First page of Google, an NDIS client of ours for inter-abled relationship, position number 1, support and services, position 4, service assist, position 4, support assistance, position 4, the word inter-abled itself, 7, personalized support services, 10, all on page 1 of Google. Another example is a junk removal client. So we've done multiple industries, 15 to 25 different industries. Junk removal client. This was their prior agency. They were with for over a year. January, they got 0 inquiries from SEO. Let's give them benefit of the doubt. Let's just say it was New Year's month. January, slow month. 2 inquiries from February, not so good. 45 in March, mediocre. 60 in April, not bad. 18 in May, okay, big dip. So they were with this agency up till about June. They came to us in July. During the handover, there was going to be a dip because there was a switch in, I guess, integration of new softwares that we were using for tracking, things of that nature. However, once we were up and running, August, they shot up to 63. September, they shot up to 68. October, they shot up to 72. And in November, they shot up to 83. So they went from 83 inquiries, with their highest month only being 60 prior. And this was once we took over. There was a dip in December, and that's obviously because it's a festive time of the year. There's usually a dip. But our worst month with them was equivalent to one of their best months with their prior agency. Another example. In the healthcare space, page 1 for capability care, careability support, careability healthcare, with the keywords home care in Craigieburn, adult day center trailing behind, just on the second page of Google, about to get to page 1. Not to mention the multiple case studies we have across multiple industries, such as television personalities, NDIS, aquatic centers, retail and online outlets, politics, artists, medical centers, and also the ex-mayor of Werribee here. This is, again, just a fraction of our testimonials. There are a bunch others here and a lot more on Google Business Profile and, of course, Facebook as well. Now, what's our process? We help professionals, service-based professionals primarily, create AI mega communities. Now, what a mega community is, it's a group of high-intent, biased customers or clients that want to work with you guys because of your positioning, personal and business, allowing you to generate multiple leads, inquiries, and customers per month like loaves of fresh bread out of the oven. This is not for businesses doing sub 50K a month in revenue, businesses that have been in business for 1 year or less, businesses that don't understand the benefit of Google reviews or don't understand the benefit of being visible or looking to get rich in 120 days. If we see this or sense this, we will delete your appointment. And we'll refer you back to our organic YouTube videos. This is for businesses that, if you're a business that takes advantage of their customers or clients, I'm willing to make changes on your website. You don't have a good reputation, your website has poor functionality, or you have no website, or you have no budget, we can't work with you. If you have unrealistic expectations or you demand a guaranteed return on investment financially, we can't work with you. If you have no local searches, so if people aren't looking for what you offer in terms of product or service, we cannot work with you either, or if your business goals are unclear. However, if you are one of these industries, you can give it a pause and look at all these industries. You're an accountant, architect, dentist, chiropractor, consultant, electrician. So you're in HVAC, NDIS, healthcare, plumber, photographer, real estate. Any of these businesses on the left-hand side, then we can serve you. Now, if you have a functional website, that's a big tick. We can work with you. If you have a budget for marketing, then that's great. We can also work with you. Preferably, you're a business owner that already has at least 50K a month in revenue consistently. You have clear business goals, whether it's increasing traffic, improving lead generation, growing brand visibility, long-term vision. You understand SEO works over time, so you're not looking for something that's going to happen overnight. SEO takes a while to kick in. That's why the first 4 months is for us to get you on the first page of Google, but it still might take 6 to 12 months for you to actually get majority of your business inquiries just from SEO. But you will notice a bump anyway, regardless in the first 120 days. Preferably a service-based business, but if you're an e-com, we can also serve you. Willingness to implement changes on your website is important. You should be the primary stakeholder or owner, and you should be able to actively communicate with our team. You should be in a scalable service or product-based industry. You should have a positive reputation. You should be open to reporting. You should be able to commit financially and meet the payment dates on time. You'll be able to pay upfront for the first 4 months, or you'll be able to pay monthly. You should be willing to sign contracts, and that just obviously makes sure that we are covering you guys, and also you're covering yourselves, and also we're covering ourselves as well. You should be comfortable with us inputting our analytic tools, Google Analytics, Search Console, and other tracking tools as well, and giving us access, obviously, to things like your CMS, your hosting, and social platforms as well. Okay, so the reason why we know we can work with all these industries mentioned and that our process works is because we have signed up over 150 businesses, between 150 to 200 clients across the last 5+ years. Okay, so I am 25. I started in this game at 19 years old. I've worked at 2 SEO agencies as well, and I've also climbed the corporate hierarchy and corporate ladder. I was making 6 figures a year by 22. Okay, now I'm self-employed with my own agency, so I understand different industries when it comes to SEO. As you can see here, this is an old screenshot. We've actually signed up more clients since then, but this is just a screenshot demonstrating you in Stripe how frequently we're signing up new clients, not to mention the other clients that we still serve today on a daily basis, on a weekly basis and a daily basis. As you can see here, Stripe says that we served 138 clients. Obviously, the first few clients that we served, they weren't tracked on Stripe. We just did the good old Google Excel and old spreadsheets and things of that nature. Just so you guys know, I've also invested into myself, multiple 5 figures, probably multiple, nearly 6 figures plus by this point, into mentors, working with people like Gary Vee, learning from people like Matt Lepre, investing into people like Roy McDonald. I've had an interview with Ty Lopez, paid him $10,000 for one interview, let alone, and that's not including the other mentorship and other things that I've paid him to be in these elite private events that when he comes down to Australia, things of that nature. Okay, so I'm spending as well to invest into myself to make sure that I'm the best leader for my organization to serve you. Again, nothing happens overnight. So this is a good framework. If you don't do anything, and let's just say you don't take up this offer, which is completely fine, and you do the exact same thing you did in 2024, well, this is what you can expect in 2025. Not much. Flatline, maybe a bit of a jump, in 2026, maybe another big jump in 2027, but it's flat. However, and I learned this from Ty Lopez, the faster we test, the faster we get the feedback loop, the faster we figure out what's working, and the faster we figure out what's working, the more money you make. You cannot grow without testing new ways of thinking that establish new control, proven variables that become proven. So again, if you constantly test, boom, you might experience a bit of a dip because you might have one really bad test. However, you learn from that bad test, positive momentum. Another dip, you might have flatline, a lot of tests might not work, but because you've tested out so many things that haven't worked, you now get a steeper, more upward incline of things that work, more money. Dip again, steep work, dip again, steep. That's what happens when you test again. And just so you know that I'm also taking what I'm saying to heart and I'm doing it in my own business, this was my business's journey. 2019, 2020, bit of revenue here, $0 many months, bit of revenue here, more revenue here, working corporate on the side, more revenue here, boom. Okay, started getting some consistency, boom. Tested so much 3 years prior, 2021, 2022, started getting spikes and spikes and spikes. We're at a major dip. We lost an operations manager, jumped right back up. Boom. Now we're on track to do pretty comfortably over 7 figures just from this one business of mine, because I have other businesses. I co-own festivals and I own 2 production companies, kind of building low-key a small private equity firm on the low. But this agency will clear probably comfortably over 7 figures in 2025 solely because I'm doing what I'm telling you to do. Again, massive dip here, bounce back, and we're actually on the up again. Okay, so our 3-step process, very, very simple. First step is you're going to make Mark Zuckerberg happy. So let's just say you are service provider red. You are just relying on word of mouth and a couple of paid ads sometimes, or boosting something, seeing what happens, and hopefully the word gets out there because you've been in business for a long time and you don't care about the marketplace and the inflation. You're just like, people will come to us if they hear about us. If not, we'll try to do more referrals. That's one. That's the person that's red, just relying on word of mouth, not willing to test stuff. Green, visible on social media, visible on Google, easy to find, and their reputation is easy to find. Again, it's about how you're positioned in the marketplace. Can people see your countless 5-star Google reviews? Are you easy to find on LinkedIn if you're in certain industries? Are you easy to find on Facebook, or easy to find on TikTok, or easy to find on YouTube? Because Google owns YouTube. So that's also part of the SEO. That person is going to win, and that person is going to make Mark Zuckerberg happier because they are visible on multiple platforms easier, which is a great way to save money long-term for your brand and your business instead of just relying on paid ads. But it's also allowing the algorithms on different platforms to work in a synergistic way to push you higher for what people are looking for. So step 1 is optimizing your site for industry relevant keywords. This is an example from one of our clients. As you can see here, you're going to get something very similar. We're going to look at your pages and we're going to look at target keywords where we can get you some quick wins. So this is the volume for these different keywords. This is the keyword difficulty as well. Again, this is nerdy stuff that we focus on. You don't have to worry about that. And then you're going to also get, a roadmap. So month 1 for this client was onboarding to SEO, 6-month roadmap, KPI checklist, setting up Google Tag Manager. Again, you're not going to know these tools, but Ahrefs, SEMrush, these are things that allow us to track how your page is growing in terms of keyword ranking. new content, indexing, which is basically putting the content into your site to make sure it matches with certain keywords, keyword mapping, meta titles and descriptions. Again, these are things that help you rank high. Don't worry about them. Pixels, GMB calendar. GMB stands for Google My Business Profile. So we do all this and we tell you in the first 7 days. So once you sign up, the first 7 days is free. So one of our SEO account managers can actually share with you guys how your play is going to work and how we're going to get you to that first 5 keywords in the first page in the first 120 days and the benefits from that are going to create momentum for everything else after that. Okay, so you're going to get a full 6-month play that's going to help your business grow. And we're going to make sure that the main focus is keywords. Step 2 is social media and aggressive backlinking. So a backlink, right, succinctly put, is it's basically a link from a more reputable website that links to your website. So again, if I read it, backlinks are links on other websites that point to your website. In the world of SEO, they're like votes on credibility from other sites. The more high quality backlinks you have, the higher your website is likely to rank in search results. So there's free backlinks and there's paid backlinks. We're going to do both for you. So we're going to be paying, let's just say you were in, as an example, the NDIS niche. We would pay one of the most reputable healthcare or NDIS related websites to link their site or to link your site in maybe one of their blogs. If you're in the roofing space, then we'd look at, the top 10 roofers in all of Victoria, and we'd see if we could pay to have your business be on the top 10 and have them backlink to your website. So we do that for basically any service-based industry. And with e-commerce, it's a little bit more complicated, but nonetheless, we have a lot of e-commerce case studies as well. So that's really no issue. 3 is CRO, heat mapping, and weekly reporting. So CRO stands for conversion rate optimization. So a conversion rate is the percentage of visitors who complete a desired action, like completing a web form or signing up on a service or product or purchasing a product on your website. So that's filling out a form if you're a service, that's purchasing a product if you're a product. A high conversion rate means your website is well designed, formatted effectively, and appealing to your target audience. A low conversion rate could be the result of a variety of factors related to either website performance or website design. So here's an example of heat mapping on Forever 21. Okay, so we can find out where people are actually clicking on websites and figure out how to actually either repeat positive behaviors or reduce negative behaviors that ultimately increase your conversion rate optimization. Now, the first 4 months, the focus is step 1 and step 2. Okay, and we do your social media for free. By the way, that's one of the catches. People are like, well, you mentioned your social media is so important. Why are you we do your social media as well. That's for free because it only makes sense to do that with the SEO. So that's our compliment to you guys as well. That's part of the reason why we're eating up a lot of the market in Australia. But heat mapping is crucial. The CRO side of things is going to mainly help you once you're on the first page of Google, because we can only do CRO once people are coming to your website and once the traffic is increasing or is a lot. If you have 10 searches on your website or 10 visits, well, it doesn't really matter how nice you make it. You're probably not going to get anyone buying. But if you have 10,000 people on your website within 4 months, well, perfect. If we know that the conversion rate now for you is 1%, which is 100 people, well, okay, the game is how can we turn 100 into 200? And then how can we get to 200 people converting into 200 qualified people? And that's the game we play with heat mapping and some other fancy stuff. But again, the first 4 months is primarily focused on making sure that you're on the first page of Google for a bunch of keywords. And then whilst we keep building that, we use the momentum of that to start doing a lot of CRO and heat mapping. And we're also going to have the weekly reporting so you know each week how your progress is going. Okay, so succinctly put, optimize your site for industry relevant keywords. Step 2, social media and aggressive backlinking and blogs. Step 3, weekly reporting to track progress. And of course, CRO as well. We're going to be continually iterating and testing. And this is not just a 4-month thing. This is something we're going to keep doing over time. The first 4 months is just to get you guys in the game of actually being able to soak up traffic in your industry so we can start converting them. So what are you getting? First 5 keywords on the first page of Google in 120 days, or we work for free until we do. As I said, nothing happens overnight, but everything compounds. If you don't change, then you won't change. If you do test a lot and you do change, then you can expect not only a great result in 2025, but a great result in 2027 as well, because you've now been ranking for a variety of things over time, more predictably, and you now have more maths and data on your side, because a good marketer is essentially a good digital data analyst. What's the catch? We can only work with 5 businesses per niche per city. For example, if we're serving 5 dental clinics in Sydney and you're the 6th dental clinic, then we cannot work with you. This is a firm rule we have and part of how we get results for our clients. And that's how we can ensure that we are helping you grow instead of your potential competitor. So please act fast to secure your position, because we're running a lot of ads and our team is very good on the phones. And even during December, we probably average 2,000 plus calls every single week in terms of outbound calls. And we probably have about 15 to 20 appointments that we set every single week as well, even in December. So move fast. And of course, think mega as per our brand slogan. As per our brand slogan, think mega. And if you guys think this can help you, see if you qualify and click the link below. Speak to you soon. Take care.